Well, it's all going rather well for Graham Potter as the Chelsea manager, unbeaten since he arrived and heading into this match with a lot of confidence after dismantling AC Milan in the Champions League in back-to-back matches.
Unbelievable again, isn't it? I mean, I don't think we ever doubted him as a coach. And then with the great, no disrespect, when you have a different calibre of players that he's working with, the elite. Sorry, guys. Sorry. But, you know, they spent a lot of money. You've got really elite players. I think it was only going to be inevitable, really, what he's done for them. But to do it in such a quick turnaround as well, though, the thing for me now is he changes his team a lot, and it's a case of will he be able to constantly keep them happy? But when you've got a degree in emotional intelligence, I think his player management will be good, so I think he'll be fine.
Give us a bit of insight into Graham Potter as a man then, Glenn.
I think, like Karen touched on there, he does change his squad a lot, and I think that's something that can be quite unsettling to begin with, but then you get used to being managed by him and playing under him, and you realise that he's dropping you for a reason, more likely than anything a rest or for the benefit of the team, and it is all about the collective, about the team progressing. And he's good, he communicates really well, and you always know that another chance is going to come up in the future. It's not like you're dropped and you're out of my squad. You're very much part of it, but it's interchangeable. And he's got loads of games. There's so many games. The fixture list is so heavy. So some of the players, I'm sure, will be happy for a rest.
Yeah, that's so true. There were 7 changes between the first AC Milan game and the Wolves match at the weekend. So you can see exactly how much he's utilising the whole squad, Karen. In terms of what we're seeing on the pitch, are we already seeing the Graham Potter way in a short space of time?
Bits of it. I still think there's more to come. I really do. I think even under Thomas Tuchel, I think they were quite fluid in how they moved and rotated. So I think you're seeing that is still, maybe we'll see more of that from Graham Potter. I think you'll see more young players as well. I think they'll even develop even more under him. I think he's from an outsider, and you probably know him better. For me, when I played, there wasn't many coaches that actually coached me. It was all about getting the result and doing what's... I always think that he improves his players, and I think if he can continually improve what he's got now at Chelsea, they can go on to another level.
Well, when you look at Brighton's academy, he brought players from that, and he made them a success in the first team. But when you look at the Chelsea academy, it's one of the best academies in the world, so they will be looking for him to bring players through. And I think one man will be really happy that he's signed is Conor Gallagher, because he had a fantastic year at Palace. And he'll build the Chelsea team around players like him. I think he's a perfect fit for Chelsea, I think it's a little bit of a test, Villa, this weekend, obviously, to come down from AC Milan midweek, and I don't think he'll make quite as many changes as what he made at Wolves.
Mason Mount is one of the players who's benefiting under Graham Potter already. Started every single game under him. He's the only outfield player to do that since Graham Potter arrived. Are we seeing the best of him this season now?
Yeah, I do. I think he's brilliant at pressing. I think a lot of even Gareth Southgate picks him in his side because of his work around how he presses and then his ability to unlock defences. But again, I think Graham Potter will make him more fluid. We'll maybe put him in different positions, put him in different areas where he can start to develop. But I've always liked Mason Mount, and as an attacker, I like him because of what he does off the ball and how his defensive work rate really helps the rest of the team. And I think Potter really likes that as well.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting you picked up on that point, because I think you're right. I think that's why Graham does like him, because I think they're learning out of possession how Graham wants them to play, and you can see almost them pressing. Mason Mount's looking over his shoulders, checking if people are coming with him, because he understands. He's just wondering if his teammates are on the same system, and I think they are. They're intelligent footballers. At that level, you've got to be intelligent to understand what you've got to do, and I think Graham will be able to get over what he needs to fairly quickly.
What about Aston Villa then? They're actually unbeaten in their last 4 matches, but the mood around Villa doesn't feel like it's a team that have gone unbeaten in 4 games. There seems to be rumblings amongst the fans that they feel like they've just kind of stagnated a bit.
Well, it might be unbeaten. It's three draws there, as you can see, so it's only 1 win in those last 6. I think what happened was I think they were conceding too much. And I think he's had to really tighten everything up and gone, we might have to be a bit ugly, we might just have to be about results and concede very little, but it's also having a detriment at the top end of the pitch. So going to watch it, it's not great because you're having to defend and we're not being attacking minded. And it's frustrating, and I think he's at home, but I think he was right to do what he did, be really compact, keep things tight, because the confidence was low, and it's a results-orientated business. So even that mentality of saying, hey, we're unbeaten in 4, even though it is draws, it's still a different mindset.
When I look at the last 6 results, only 4 goals, and the creative players they've got, I think it's disappointing, especially with the goal scorers like Danny Ings. Watkins, for me, is not clinical enough. I think as a team, they're probably not clinical enough at the most, and we see they've got the second fewest goals in the Premier League behind Wolves. That's not a good stat to have. Yes, it's about getting that balance. Karen's right. They showed up at the back. They're harder to beat. But it's about getting that balance right. You've still got to score goals if you're going to win games.
I think the frustrations are because of what they've spent and the calibre of players, as you said, they've got. So it's not adding up, those stats and what that. So that the fans are like, we've got Steven Gerrard, we're buying these players, we're spending money, we've got these creative players. But although they've got them, for me, they never fitted the system. It was always kind of, it didn't suit them, it didn't flow. And I think he's had to do what he's had to do. But I think that's why the fans are frustrated, spending.
I feel as though Villa fans expect a lot. It wasn't long ago they're in the Championship and they've took massive steps forward.